Achieving Personal Excellence. Written and published by Sonic Tome. Every day, you make decisions that carve the path toward who you are becoming, even when it feels like nothing extraordinary is happening. The choices you make, the words you speak, the people you surround yourself with, they all quietly, yet powerfully, shape your future. It's easy to think that greatness is something that happens to the few who are destined for it, that success is the reward for a lucky few, or for those who somehow stumble upon the right moment. But the truth is, greatness isn't something you're born into. It's something you craft, piece by piece, moment by moment, with every action, every thought, and every belief. You don't need to wait for a grand event to step into your power. In fact, the most significant breakthroughs aren't marked by an explosive moment of change. They're the result of small, intentional actions compounded over time. It's in the daily discipline, the persistence, the mindset that drives you to keep going even when the external world doesn't seem to notice. Every setback is an opportunity for you to pivot, every challenge a chance to strengthen your resilience. The road is never linear, but it's exactly these twists and turns that forge the strength and vision needed to reach heights you once thought were impossible. What if you could harness that power? What if you could align your actions, your vision, and your very essence in a way that propels you toward the highest version of yourself? What if you could create a legacy, not just in the traditional sense, but one that is woven into the lives of those you encounter, a legacy that speaks volumes in the quiet moments and in the ways you show up for yourself and others? Greatness doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't need to be proclaimed to the world to be real. It lives in the decisions you make when no one is watching. It flourishes in your ability to stay true to your purpose, even when the distractions are overwhelming. It thrives when you realize that it's not just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. Every choice you make, no matter how small, has the potential to bring you closer to a version of yourself that stands tall, unwavering, and ready to impact the world in ways you've yet to fully comprehend. This journey isn't just about accumulating success. It's about making each step meaningful, aligning every action with a deeper purpose that resonates long after the moment has passed. It's about creating a foundation of strength, resilience, and intention that sustains you through challenges and propels you toward lasting fulfillment. Greatness isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you cultivate every single day. Chapter 1. Foundations of the Extraordinary You. There's something captivating about people who stand out, those whose presence seems to demand attention. It's not just their accomplishments that make them memorable, but the energy they exude, the confidence they radiate, and the way they approach life. These individuals are not born with a different set of rules. They don't have a hidden advantage. They simply understand something deeper that most miss. It's not magic, nor is it about luck. It's about developing a mindset that pushes beyond ordinary limits to see life and your potential in a radically different way. The foundation of extraordinary individuals is rooted in an awareness of their own power. They don't see themselves as victims of circumstance, but as active participants in their own story. There is an unwavering belief that their actions matter, that they hold the pen when it comes to writing their destiny. This mindset isn't born overnight. It's cultivated over time, through repeated choices to act with purpose, to face challenges head-on, and to choose growth over comfort. An essential trait of remarkable individuals is their refusal to accept the status quo. They don't settle for the way things are simply because it's easy. They are always questioning, always striving for something more meaningful. This thirst for growth is not driven by a desire to compete with others, but by the deep inner call to evolve, to become the fullest expression of who they truly are. It's about raising the standard for yourself, not out of pride, but out of respect for what you are capable of achieving. But this mindset, this inner knowing, comes with responsibility. It's not just about dreaming big and imagining possibilities. It's about taking ownership of your circumstances. It means acknowledging the areas of life where you may be holding back, where you've allowed fear or uncertainty to take the lead. True growth happens when you take radical responsibility for your choices, no matter how difficult or inconvenient. This is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. While others may find excuses or assign blame, the remarkable look inward, assess their role in the situation, and move forward with intention. At the core of the extraordinary mindset is a clear sense of purpose. Without it, even the most ambitious individuals can lose direction. Purpose is the compass that guides every decision, every action. It transforms mundane tasks into meaningful steps toward a larger goal. When your purpose is clear, obstacles no longer feel like roadblocks. They feel like challenges to be overcome. Every setback becomes an opportunity to refine and strengthen your resolve. What is often misunderstood is that this level of focus and determination isn't the result of a rigid, linear path. It's not about being perfect or never failing. It's about being willing to course correct, to pivot when necessary, and to stay true to your deeper purpose, even in the face of uncertainty. This flexibility is what allows extraordinary individuals to adapt, to keep moving forward, and to navigate life's unpredictability with resilience. Another core aspect of this foundation is the ability to embrace discomfort. The most exceptional people are not those who avoid hardship, but those who meet it with courage. They recognize that growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. The willingness to stretch, to confront difficult situations, and to tackle challenges that seem insurmountable is what builds the kind of strength that is visible in their results. The truly extraordinary are not afraid to fail, because they know that failure is just a stepping stone on the way to mastery. They embrace it, learn from it, and move forward with greater wisdom. In this space of purpose, self-awareness, and courage, extraordinary people create their own opportunities. They don't wait for the right moment to arrive, they create it. They see every moment as an opportunity to do better, to be better, and to contribute in a way that aligns with their deepest values. And it's in this mindset, this attitude toward life, that greatness is born. Not from waiting for the world to hand it to them, but from actively seeking out the path and relentlessly pursuing it. The foundation of the extraordinary you, therefore, is not a destination but a way of being. It's a commitment to growth, to responsibility, and to living with purpose. It's a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities, discomfort into strength, and failure into wisdom. When you build on this foundation, you create a life that isn't just about what you achieve, but about who you become along the way. Chapter 2. Mastering your inner compass. Imagine walking through a dense forest with no path to follow. The trees are thick, the undergrowth is tangled, and every direction looks equally uncertain. But somewhere deep inside you, you sense there's a way out. There's a sense of direction, an inner knowing that tells you where to go. This is the feeling that comes when you've mastered your inner compass, the ability to align your mind, your desires, and your actions in perfect harmony, ensuring that no matter how chaotic or uncertain life may feel, you always know which way to move forward. The challenge we often face is that this inner compass can become clouded. Our thoughts become entangled with doubts, fears, and distractions. We look outward for validation and direction, seeking answers from others instead of trusting the wisdom already within us. Yet, the moment you start trusting your inner compass is the moment you step into true self-leadership. It's when you begin to listen closely to the quiet voice within, the one that speaks not from fear or expectation, but from the truest part of yourself. This process of mastery doesn't come from grand gestures or dramatic changes. It happens slowly, through small, consistent practices that reinforce the connection between your heart, your mind, and your actions. It begins with getting quiet, really quiet. In a world that constantly demands your attention, silence becomes your most powerful tool. When you allow space for stillness, the noise of external opinions fades away, and you can finally hear the whispers of your own heart. Your thoughts are the starting point, the first layer in the process of alignment. The way you think shapes everything: your reality, your relationships, your decisions. If you are constantly consumed with negative self-talk or self-doubt, it becomes nearly impossible to move in a direction that serves your highest good. Mastering your inner compass starts with mastering your thoughts. This doesn't mean suppressing negative emotions or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it means acknowledging these thoughts, not letting them define you, and choosing a mindset that supports your growth. It's about creating a mental space where positivity, confidence, and clarity have room to breathe. But thoughts alone aren't enough. They must be coupled with a deep understanding of your desires. Many people live their lives in pursuit of goals that aren't truly theirs, influenced by the expectations of family, society, or peers. To truly master your inner compass, you need to get clear on what you truly desire, what excites you, what brings you fulfillment, and what aligns with your authentic self. When your desires are aligned with your values and your deeper purpose, they become powerful forces that pull you forward. This clarity is not about following trends or mimicking others, but about getting in touch with your core and understanding the unique path meant for you. Once you have aligned your thoughts and desires, the final piece of the puzzle is action. Thoughts and desires remain abstract until they are brought to life through action. This is where many people falter. It's easy to talk about your dreams or think about your goals, but the real transformation happens when you take consistent steps toward them. Action is the bridge between intention and manifestation. And for those actions to be in alignment with your highest potential, they must come from a place of purpose, not from external pressure or fleeting emotions. True mastery comes when your thoughts, desires, and actions are no longer in conflict. When they work in harmony, everything becomes easier. It's like flowing with the current instead of fighting against it. Instead of feeling scattered or overwhelmed, you feel focused and energized, moving forward with confidence in the direction that you've set for yourself. You stop asking others for permission to pursue what's meaningful to you, because you've already given yourself that permission. You stop second-guessing your decisions, because you trust that they are in alignment with your true self. One of the most powerful ways to keep this alignment intact is through reflection. Regular moments of introspection allow you to check in with yourself and ensure that you're still on course. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of everyday life, to let distractions pull you away from your true direction. But when you pause and take a step back, you create an opportunity to reassess your thoughts, your desires, and your actions. Are they still in harmony with what you want for your life? Or have they shifted due to external pressures or old habits? Mastering your inner compass is a continuous process. It requires patience, self-awareness, and the courage to course-correct when needed. It means learning to trust your intuition, to follow the quiet nudges that guide you even when the path ahead seems unclear. When you have mastery over this inner alignment, it becomes easier to navigate life's challenges, to make decisions that are true to who you are, and to move through the world with purpose and conviction. The power of mastering your inner compass lies in the freedom it brings. It's the freedom to live authentically, to pursue your dreams without hesitation, and to step into each day with clarity and confidence. When you are aligned with your deepest truth, the world becomes a place of limitless possibility. No matter what life throws your way, you remain rooted in your purpose, with your mind, desires, and actions all working together to propel you forward toward your highest potential. Chapter 3. The role of daily habits in crafting success. Success isn't an accident, nor is it a stroke of luck. It's a result of the choices you make, day in and day out, often without realizing how deeply those choices influence the course of your life. It's not about sudden breakthroughs or grand gestures. It's about the accumulation of small, seemingly insignificant actions that add up to something extraordinary over time. Every habit you cultivate, no matter how minor it may seem, is a thread woven into the fabric of your success. Think about it. You wake up every day with a set of routines, many of which you don't even consciously think about. Whether it's reaching for your phone, making your coffee, or stretching before you get out of bed, these small actions form the foundation of your day. Over time, These actions shape your mindset, energy, and productivity. But when viewed through the lens of success, those same habits can either propel you forward or keep you anchored in the same place. The real question is, what do your habits say about where you want to go? The power of daily habits lies in their consistency. It's the repeated action, done day after day, that builds momentum. It's the 15 minutes of reading that turns into a library over the years. It's the small moments of reflection that compound into profound self-awareness. It's the exercise you do not because you feel like it, but because it's part of who you are. When you make these actions a non-negotiable part of your routine, they begin to carve out the path that leads to your goals. Most people, however, look for shortcuts. They want the fast track to success, the quick fix. But success doesn't work that way. It's a slow, steady process, like carving a statue from a block of marble. Every habit you build, even the ones that seem mundane or tedious in the moment, chips away at the limitations you've placed on yourself. It's the quiet commitment to do the small things that make the big difference. And while it might not feel like much on any given day, over time, these habits create a shift in your trajectory. One key aspect of daily habits is their ability to influence your mindset. When you make a habit of focusing on growth, learning, and progress, your mind begins to look for those opportunities everywhere. You stop seeing challenges as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to sharpen your skills, expand your knowledge, and prove to yourself that you can overcome anything. The more you engage with habits that foster this mindset, the more automatic it becomes to think in ways that align with success. Another powerful element is the role of discipline. Discipline isn't about rigid schedules or doing things just for the sake of following rules. It's about honoring your commitments to yourself. When you consistently follow through on the small promises you make, whether it's spending time on your personal growth, focusing on your health, or taking time to nurture relationships, you prove to yourself that you can trust your own word. This trust builds confidence, and when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. Each disciplined action strengthens your belief that you can handle bigger challenges and eventually achieve your most ambitious goals. But not all habits are created equal. The key to creating habits that lead to success is intentionality. Every successful individual has one thing in common. They have a clear vision of where they're going, and they structure their habits around that vision. Your habits must align with your highest aspirations. A daily habit that doesn't serve your larger goals is merely busy work. It's important to ask yourself whether the habits you're cultivating are helping you move toward the person you want to be and the life you want to create. Every action should be deliberate, designed to move you closer to your vision, no matter how small or simple it may seem. It's also important to understand that habits don't work in isolation. They work best when they are part of a larger system. Successful people don't just rely on a single habit to bring them success. They create a network of habits that reinforce each other. A morning routine that energizes you might be supported by a habit of reviewing your goals at the end of the day. Regular physical activity is paired with reading or learning something new to keep the mind sharp. Each habit serves the others, creating a dynamic synergy that multiplies their impact. Success isn't built on a single habit, but on an ecosystem of habits that work together to fuel progress. Equally important is the understanding that habits are cumulative. They don't provide instant gratification. Unlike a sudden win or a big success that might give you a rush of excitement, the results of your daily habits unfold gradually. At first, the progress is hard to see. You might wonder if all the effort is even worth it. But if you persist, you begin to notice changes in your mindset, your energy, and your results. The real power lies in those moments when you feel like giving up, but choose to keep going, trusting that the cumulative effect will eventually pay off. And remember, no habit is permanent. You can always adjust, refine, and improve. Life is fluid, and the needs of today may not be the same as the needs of tomorrow. The power of daily habits is not just in sticking to them, but in your ability to evolve them to fit your growing aspirations. Just as your goals change over time, so too should your habits. They should stretch and grow with you, constantly pushing you toward higher levels of excellence. At the end of the day, success is not defined by a single moment of achievement, but by the process of becoming the person who can achieve those moments consistently. It's about showing up, every day, no matter what. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when the results are invisible. Success is built on the foundation of daily habits that align with your highest purpose, and when you commit to them with consistency and intentionality, you're not just working toward success, you're becoming someone capable of achieving it. Chapter 4. Resilience as a cornerstone of greatness. Resilience isn't a trait that you're born with. It's something you develop through experience, hardship, and choice. It's the ability to stand tall, not just when things are going smoothly, but when life throws its hardest punches. In those moments of difficulty, when everything seems to be falling apart, resilience is the force that helps you rebuild yourself and your dreams. It's what allows you to rise from failure, not as someone defeated, but as someone who's learned, adapted, and become stronger. Life isn't designed to be easy. It isn't always fair, and it doesn't always make sense. We've all faced moments of doubt, pain, and fear. It's in these times that you are presented with the opportunity to build a kind of inner fortitude that not only helps you navigate adversity, but also shapes the person you become. The power of resilience lies in its ability to transform challenges into fuel for growth. When setbacks occur, and they will time and again, what truly matters is how you respond to them. It's not about avoiding difficulty. It's about learning to dance with it. The more you face, the more you understand the depth of your own strength. With each challenge, you learn new ways of thinking, new ways of approaching problems, and new ways of being in the world. In the past, you may have seen obstacles as signs that you were on the wrong path, but with resilience, you learn to see them as signals, teaching you lessons that propel you forward. Resilience is about shifting your mindset from "I can't" to "I can learn," or "I will find a way." Every failure becomes a classroom where you are the student and the teacher. You are learning how to be better, how to adjust, how to keep moving even when the road ahead seems impossible. It's this transformation from victim to victor that makes resilience so powerful. It's not about ignoring the pain, the disappointment, or the hardship. It's about acknowledging those feelings and choosing to move forward anyway. At its core, resilience is rooted in the ability to maintain focus on what truly matters, regardless of temporary setbacks. When you're connected to a deep sense of purpose, setbacks no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles. They're simply a part of the journey, an essential part of your growth. Resilience doesn't mean pretending that failure doesn't hurt, or that you shouldn't feel frustration or sadness. It means you acknowledge those emotions but refuse to let them define your story. This ability to bounce back is not just about enduring hardships, but about using those hardships to fuel your rise. Each challenge has the potential to reveal new layers of your potential, new depths of strength, and new levels of creativity. It's in moments of adversity that you can tap into a deeper reservoir of power within you, one that was always there, waiting to be activated. Resilience teaches you that it's not the challenge that determines your success, but your response to it. It's about asking yourself, what can I learn here? What can I become because of this? The true measure of resilience is not whether or not you face hardships, but how you allow those hardships to shape you. Resilient individuals don't just get through tough times, they become better versions of themselves because of those times. They develop mental, emotional, and spiritual muscles that make them capable of handling even greater challenges ahead. They learn how to find meaning in the struggle, how to turn pain into purpose, and how to stay committed to their goals even when things seem impossible. Resilience doesn't mean you never fail or never experience difficulty. It means that when you do, you understand that failure is not the end. It's a part of the process. Failure is a lesson in disguise. When you fall, resilience whispers, "Get back up, keep going." And you do. The more you practice this, the stronger your resilience becomes. You begin to trust yourself and the process of life. You trust that even when things seem to be falling apart, there is always something you can learn and always a way forward. In many ways, resilience is an act of faith. It's trusting that the universe, or life itself, has a plan for you, even if you don't always understand it. It's trusting that your pain, your struggles, and your challenges are not in vain. You have a choice in how you respond, and that choice is always to keep moving, keep learning, and keep growing. You might not know where the path leads, but you know that as long as you continue, you'll be better for it. This unshakable strength also involves embracing vulnerability. Many people believe that to be strong, they must appear unbreakable, emotionless, or unaffected by their struggles. But true strength is about embracing your humanity, the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, and continuing on anyway. Resilience is not about building walls to protect yourself from the world. It's about learning to face the world head-on, no matter how harsh it may seem. It's about opening yourself to life, taking the hits, and still having the courage to keep your heart open. Over time, resilience becomes a cycle. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to apply it in the future. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, but you will face them with a renewed sense of strength, understanding, and perseverance. Each setback strengthens your ability to handle the next one. You begin to see setbacks not as something to fear, but as opportunities to prove to yourself just how much you've grown. Resilience is not an overnight transformation, nor is it something that can be forced. It is cultivated through consistent practice. Each time you face adversity and choose to move forward with determination and grace, you strengthen the foundation of resilience within you. Over time, resilience becomes not just a response to challenges, but a way of being in the world. Strong, steady, and unyielding in the face of life's uncertainties. Chapter 5. Expanding your vision beyond limits. The boundaries of your current reality are not permanent. They are simply a reflection of where your mind and heart are focused at this moment. To step beyond these limits, you must first recognize that the walls you perceive are often illusions, built by your own beliefs, experiences, and comfort zones. The act of expanding your vision isn't about changing the world around you. It's about changing how you see the world, how you view your potential, and how you approach the future. Most people live within self-imposed limitations. These limitations are not always obvious, but they are felt in the way we think, act, and make decisions. We limit ourselves with stories like, "I'm not ready," "This is too difficult," or "I've never done it before." These are the silent chains that prevent us from exploring what's truly possible. Yet the most extraordinary people in history weren't necessarily the most gifted or the most talented. They were the ones who decided to see beyond their immediate circumstances, to push through what was comfortable, and to believe in a vision that was bigger than themselves. Expanding your vision is an act of daring. It requires courage to look at your current situation and ask, what could be if I wasn't confined by what I think I know? The walls of comfort and familiarity you've built over time are protective, yes, but they are also confining. They restrict growth, limit potential, and keep you in a perpetual loop of sameness. To break free, you must first acknowledge the walls you've built. Then, you can choose to dismantle them, brick by brick, by questioning the assumptions that hold you in place. When you begin to think beyond your current limits, you open the door to infinite possibilities. But first, you must recognize that those possibilities exist. Too many people live their lives according to what is immediately visible: the job, the house, the relationship, the financial situation. But true growth happens when you see what lies beyond what you have now, beyond what's comfortable and familiar. You can't make quantum leaps unless you allow yourself to imagine what lies beyond the horizon. The process of expanding your vision requires you to move past conventional thinking. Too often, we look at the world through a narrow lens, shaped by past experiences or the expectations of others. The challenge is to widen your perspective, to see things not for what they are, but for what they could be. This is a conscious effort. It doesn't happen by accident. You must actively choose to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to embrace challenges as avenues for growth rather than threats to your stability. Visionaries don't just dream of what's possible. They see what others cannot see and have the tenacity to bring that vision to life. They trust that the pursuit of something greater is worth the discomfort of the unknown. They stretch beyond their current circumstances, not because they have more resources, but because they have more faith in the potential of what could be. This kind of thinking demands that you trust in your ability to adapt, learn, and evolve. It also requires letting go of the need for perfection. Too often we hesitate to take action because we feel we must have everything perfectly figured out. But progress doesn't wait for perfection. Expanding your vision means being willing to take bold steps forward, even if you don't have all the answers. It's about committing to the journey, not the destination. The path will be full of uncertainties, but the growth comes from stepping forward, even when the road isn't clear. The key to breaking through boundaries is to recognize that limitations often exist only in your mind. Your mind will naturally tell you that what you want is too far out of reach, but it is this very resistance that shows you where you must go. Whenever you feel resistance to an idea or goal, instead of shrinking back, lean into it. That's where growth is happening. This resistance is a signal, not of impossibility, but of an opportunity for transformation. This shift in thinking is also about timing. There is never a perfect moment to take action. Often you will be asked to take a leap of faith long before you feel ready. That's the moment to trust that your vision is bigger than any immediate discomfort. You must trust that what you are creating is meant to be, even if it doesn't make sense in the present. Visionaries don't wait for the world to catch up. They create something new, and in the process, they change the world around them. In practice, expanding your vision means breaking away from a reactive mode of living. Instead of letting life dictate your actions, you begin to act from a place of intentionality. You recognize that the present moment is the only moment you truly control, and with that control comes the ability to shape your future. When you step into this space, you realize that you are not bound by the circumstances of the present. You are free to craft your life, not according to the limitations of what you have now, but according to the boundless potential of what you can achieve. One of the most powerful shifts comes when you stop measuring your progress by comparison. It's easy to get caught up in looking at where others are and wondering why you're not there yet. But expanding your vision is not about outdoing others. It's about outdoing yourself. The question you need to ask is not, how do I compare? But how far can I go? When you focus solely on your own potential, the journey becomes about breaking personal barriers, not competing with the success of others. To push beyond your limits is to decide that you are worthy of more, that the goals you set are not only achievable, but are the very path to your evolution. It's about believing in the unseen before it materializes. It's about trusting in your own ability to shape your reality, even when you can't yet see how everything will fall into place. Stretching your vision is not simply a matter of setting bigger goals. It's about believing that you are capable of achieving them, regardless of where you are right now. In this process, you'll realize that your vision isn't just for yourself. It has the potential to influence those around you. Your belief in a greater possibility for yourself begins to inspire others to stretch their own boundaries. As you break through your own limits, you become a living example of what is possible. And in doing so, you create ripples of transformation that extend beyond your own life, impacting the lives of others in ways you can't even yet imagine. Chapter 6. Nurturing relationships that elevate you. There is a saying that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. While it's often overlooked, the people you surround yourself with shape more of your destiny than you may realize. Relationships are not merely about connection, they are about energy, alignment, and mutual growth. In your pursuit of excellence, the relationships you nurture will either elevate you or hold you back. The question then becomes, who are you choosing to share your time with, and how are they influencing the person you are becoming? The right relationships are those that challenge you to rise to the occasion. These individuals do not exist to simply flatter your ego or tell you what you want to hear. They are the ones who see your potential, even when you can't see it yourself. They push you to stretch beyond your comfort zone, to question your assumptions, and to take on the kind of challenges that will force you to grow. This kind of connection is not always easy. It requires vulnerability, openness, and a willingness to hear the hard truths that can sometimes feel uncomfortable. But this discomfort is the catalyst for transformation. There are people who show you who you could be, and then there are those who limit who you are. When you surround yourself with people who encourage you to be the best version of yourself, you are making a conscious choice to invest in relationships that add value to your life. These relationships act as mirrors, reflecting the very qualities you aspire to embody: resilience, wisdom, drive, and authenticity. You'll find yourself evolving in ways you never thought possible when you spend time with individuals who believe in your potential and challenge you to embrace the best within you. However, not every relationship is this straightforward. Some will take more work, more patience, and more boundaries. People who are invested in your growth aren't always easy to find. The truth is, there will be individuals who are comfortable with your current self, the version of you that stays complacent, unchallenged, and static. These individuals might subtly discourage your progress, pulling you back into familiar patterns that no longer serve you. They might do so out of fear, jealousy, or their own limitations. Recognizing these dynamics is vital for your personal evolution. Nurturing relationships that elevate you means learning to protect your energy and your time. This does not mean cutting people out of your life indiscriminately, but rather creating an environment where you are surrounded by those who propel you forward, not those who weigh you down. It's about setting boundaries that honor your aspirations and your self-worth. Being selective doesn't mean being exclusive, but it means being intentional about the energy and conversations you invite into your life. Another crucial aspect of elevating relationships is reciprocity. Healthy relationships are not one-sided. True connections are built on mutual support, respect, and care. In these relationships, you are not only a recipient of encouragement and inspiration, but you also give back. You become an active participant in the growth of others, offering your support, your wisdom, and your presence. These kinds of relationships foster a sense of community, where the pursuit of excellence is a shared goal, not a solitary endeavor. Building relationships that elevate you also involves being vulnerable. It's easy to gravitate towards people who make us feel good or validate our sense of self, but the deeper connections, those that lead to true transformation, require showing up in your raw, unguarded form. When you allow others to see your struggles, your insecurities, and your aspirations, you open the door to deeper intimacy and understanding. It is through this vulnerability that authentic relationships are forged, and it is these relationships that allow for the kind of growth that can propel you to new heights. The process of nurturing these relationships involves communication, clear, honest, and meaningful exchanges. This goes beyond surface-level conversations and pleasantries. It means being able to articulate your vision, your challenges, and your dreams with those who are in your circle. It also means listening with empathy and seeking to understand the challenges that others are facing. Relationships that elevate you are not about speaking at one another, but rather about creating an open, supportive dialogue, where both parties are free to express themselves fully. It is also essential to understand that the journey to excellence is not a competition, but a collaboration. The relationships that will truly elevate you are those that are built on a foundation of collective success. When you help others rise, you too will rise. Helping others succeed does not diminish your own success, it amplifies it. In these kinds of relationships, there is no scarcity mindset. Success is seen as something that can be shared and multiplied, not hoarded. You encourage and celebrate each other's victories because, in doing so, you acknowledge that there is enough to go around. As you continue to grow, the relationships that elevate you will evolve too. These connections aren't meant to remain static. They are living, breathing entities that will adapt as you adapt. The people who challenge you today may become your partners tomorrow, your collaborators, and your closest allies. The relationships you foster will provide the necessary support and wisdom when the road ahead seems unclear, and they will help you see the world through a wider lens. Ultimately, relationships that elevate you are those that foster mutual growth. They are the connections that inspire you to do more, be more, and challenge yourself more than you ever thought possible. These are the people who will remind you that you are capable of greatness, even when you forget. They will support you when you falter, challenge you when you hesitate, and celebrate you when you succeed. Through these relationships, you will discover not only who you are, but who you are capable of becoming. Chapter 7. Turning Purpose into Action. Purpose is an abstract concept until it is brought to life through deliberate, focused action. We all have dreams, aspirations, and goals, but they remain intangible unless we take consistent, conscious steps to manifest them. The first challenge is not identifying what we want, but transforming that vision into something tangible, something that moves from the realm of fantasy into the world of reality. The path from purpose to action begins with clarity. It's easy to become excited by an idea, to feel motivated by the possibilities that lie ahead. But without a deep understanding of what that purpose truly means to you, what it represents at a core level, there's a risk that your actions will be driven by surface-level desires or fleeting moments of inspiration. To truly turn purpose into action, you must first answer the essential question: why? Why do you want this? What is it about this goal that resonates with you deeply? When you understand your why, you anchor your actions in meaning, and the pursuit of your purpose becomes more than just a task. It becomes a mission. The next step is committing to a course of action. We often feel overwhelmed by the idea of executing a purpose because it seems too vast or unattainable. It's not about figuring out every single step right away. It's about taking the first step and then the next. Each action, no matter how small, has a ripple effect. When you take one step toward your purpose, you create momentum that carries you forward, even when the path is uncertain. The key here is consistency. It's the small, deliberate actions that compound over time, transforming what once seemed like an unattainable dream into something real and measurable. While passion and inspiration can fuel the initial push, it's discipline that sustains progress. The temptation to procrastinate or shift focus is real. Life presents countless distractions, and it can be easy to abandon our goals when faced with challenges. But in the same way that a river carves through rock, your purpose requires persistence. Every day that you choose to show up, every effort you make, even when it feels like nothing is changing, moves you closer to turning your purpose into action. Another crucial element is accountability. It's easy to let our own desires slip to the back burner when we are the only ones keeping track. Sharing your goals with others, whether they're mentors, friends, or colleagues, creates an additional layer of responsibility. It's not about external pressure, but about having someone to share in your progress, someone who can offer guidance when needed, and who can celebrate your wins, no matter how small. This accountability encourages you to take action even on days when your motivation wanes, ensuring that your purpose doesn't remain just a vision, but becomes a living, breathing part of your reality. As you take action, remember that failure is not the opposite of progress. It is a part of it. Often we fear failure more than we fear the idea of remaining stagnant, but failure is a natural and necessary component of growth. Every mistake is a lesson, an opportunity to refine your approach and make adjustments. Those who truly turn purpose into action understand that failure isn't something to avoid. It's something to embrace, because it is through failure that we gain the resilience and wisdom to continue pushing forward. Turning purpose into action also requires the ability to adapt. The path toward any significant goal is rarely a straight line. It is filled with detours, setbacks, and unexpected turns. Being able to pivot, to remain flexible in your approach, is essential for maintaining momentum when the inevitable challenges arise. This adaptability allows you to stay aligned with your core purpose, even when the method to achieve it changes. Flexibility in action does not mean abandoning your purpose. It means finding new ways to move toward it when the original plan no longer serves you. This is where alignment with your values plays a pivotal role. Purpose without alignment to your deeper values is fleeting. When your actions reflect the core beliefs and principles that guide you, the work doesn't feel like work at all. You will face moments of doubt, and there will be times when the weight of responsibility feels heavy, but your values provide the strength to continue moving forward. When you are truly aligned with your purpose, your actions are no longer driven by external validation, but by an internal compass that consistently points you in the right direction. The most powerful action comes when you not only have a clear purpose, but also a clear sense of the impact you wish to make. This is what gives your purpose depth, and it's what propels your actions beyond the self. It's not enough to achieve your goals for personal gain alone. True fulfillment comes from knowing that your actions create something larger than yourself, that they contribute to a cause greater than your own success. This sense of contribution turns ambition into meaning, making the pursuit of your purpose not only an individual journey, but also a gift to the world. And finally, as you begin to see the fruits of your labor, don't lose sight of the importance of reflection. Take time to assess where you've been, what you've accomplished, and where you still wish to go. Celebrating milestones, both big and small, is vital in sustaining the energy required for long-term action. Reflecting on your journey not only reinforces the commitment you made to your purpose, but also reveals the growth and transformation that has occurred along the way. This reflection renews your sense of purpose, providing the clarity and motivation to continue taking purposeful action. Turning purpose into action is about commitment, discipline, adaptability, and alignment. It's about seeing through the distractions, embracing the challenges, and remaining focused on the deeper meaning that your purpose holds. Every day you take steps, no matter how small, toward your goal. You are living your purpose, and through those steps you make the impossible possible. Chapter 8. The Art of Reflection and Growth. Reflection is not just a practice, it is a way of engaging with life. It is a continuous process of stepping back, observing, and gaining insight into our experiences, both the wins and the losses, in order to evolve. Without reflection, we go through the motions, driven by external forces and fleeting emotions, rather than by intentional growth. Growth doesn't just happen by chance. It requires a conscious effort to pause, to look within, and to assess. It's in those quiet moments of reflection that we truly begin to understand ourselves, refine our approach, and push forward with renewed clarity. True reflection is not about seeking approval or reinforcing old beliefs. It is about peeling back the layers, questioning what went right, what went wrong, and why. It's in this process that we uncover the lessons hidden in every experience. To reflect is to separate yourself from the situation, to observe it without judgment or emotion clouding your perception, and to extract value from it regardless of the outcome. It's not enough to simply recognize what worked or failed. The deeper challenge is identifying the patterns and triggers that led to those results, and using that awareness to make better choices moving forward. Reflection calls for honesty. The temptation to shy away from uncomfortable truths is common, but this avoidance only hinders growth. To truly learn from your experiences, you must be willing to confront your weaknesses and mistakes without fear. This doesn't mean punishing yourself or dwelling on what could have been different, but rather acknowledging where you went wrong, understanding why it happened, and committing to doing things differently in the future. Mistakes are not failures. They are markers, guiding us toward better decisions, sharper judgment, and a deeper understanding of what we are capable of. The same honesty is required when it comes to celebrating victories. Many people rush through moments of success, eager to move on to the next goal or project, but real reflection involves taking a moment to absorb the achievement. What did it take to get there? What qualities did you tap into? How did your mindset evolve to bring you to this point? These reflections give meaning to the victories, reminding you of your strength and reminding you of the process that brought you success. They also fuel the fire for future growth, as each success becomes a reminder of your ability to create the life you envision. Growth, however, doesn't end with reflection. It's what comes after that truly matters. Reflection is the spark, but action is the fuel. The lessons you uncover must be translated into new actions and approaches. It's about recognizing that no matter how well you've done or how much you've failed, the next step is always to grow. You cannot stay stagnant in the comfort of past achievements or wallow in the despair of past mistakes. Every experience holds something valuable to teach, but only if you're willing to change because of it. Growth requires flexibility. It requires stepping out of old patterns and habits that no longer serve you and embracing new ways of thinking, behaving, and acting. Sometimes the most challenging part of reflection is knowing when to adjust. Life is unpredictable, and there are moments when your best-laid plans don't work out. This is when reflection becomes not only about looking back, but also about looking forward. Are you still on the path you set out to walk? Are you aligned with your core values, or have distractions led you down a road that no longer feels right? Reflection allows you to recalibrate, to adjust your course before you get too far off track. The ability to change direction is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of wisdom, of maturity, and of an openness to growth that allows you to learn from your environment and adjust accordingly. As you reflect, it is important to separate yourself from the outcomes and focus instead on the process. The external results may not always be in your control, but how you approach situations, how you respond to challenges, and how you invest in your own development always is. This shift in focus allows you to stay grounded in the pursuit of growth, rather than in the fleeting nature of success or failure. It's the process of becoming, not the result of becoming, that shapes your true potential. It's in this understanding that reflection becomes a source of infinite possibility. One of the most profound ways to grow through reflection is to use it as a tool for self-compassion. Often, when we reflect on our experiences, we become harsh judges of our own behavior. Yet growth cannot occur if we are constantly criticizing ourselves. Instead, reflection should be a space of understanding, where you acknowledge your humanity, accept the missteps, and move forward with a sense of kindness toward yourself. This doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook for mistakes, but rather giving yourself the grace to learn and improve, rather than wallowing in self-judgment. The art of reflection also involves creating space for it. It doesn't happen in the hustle and bustle of daily life. You must carve out time to pause and truly think, to revisit your goals and ambitions, to examine your actions with an open mind. Whether it's through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting in silence, it's important to allow yourself the mental space to reflect. Only then can you access the deeper insights that guide your path forward. In the end, reflection isn't a one-time activity. It's an ongoing practice that grows with you. It's not about finding immediate answers or solutions, but rather about embracing a mindset that continually seeks improvement. Growth is not something that happens to you. It's something you actively create through your willingness to look inward, learn from every moment, and adjust as you move toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Chapter 9. Sustaining momentum for the long run. Momentum is a powerful force, one that propels you forward when you are fired up and determined. But what happens when the initial enthusiasm fades, when the excitement that once fueled your ambition begins to dwindle? The true measure of success is not found in the brief moments of motivation that spark your journey, but in your ability to keep moving when the energy fades, to stay on course when the passion seems to ebb away. Building lasting momentum requires more than just starting strong. It involves creating a rhythm that sustains you, even through the quieter moments when the results seem distant or the challenges seem overwhelming. It begins with recognizing that the process of personal growth is not a sprint, but a marathon. The early stages are often filled with adrenaline, new ideas, fresh goals, and an endless surge of energy. But as time passes, the intensity naturally wanes. To sustain momentum, you need to make peace with this inevitable dip and instead focus on cultivating consistency. This is where the real work begins. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is new and exciting, but the true test of your character is in how you show up when the excitement is gone, and all that's left is the grind. The key to lasting momentum lies in creating habits that fuel your progress, even when motivation falters. When your routines are well established, when your actions are driven by purpose rather than fleeting feelings, you're less likely to be derailed by the ups and downs of your emotions. The difference between those who sustain excellence and those who don't is often not the level of their initial excitement, but their ability to show up consistently, day after day, regardless of the circumstances. It's about committing to the process, not just the results. Another critical element in sustaining momentum is staying connected to your why, the deeper reason behind your actions. Motivation can wax and wane, but purpose provides an anchor. When you are grounded in a clear sense of purpose, it becomes easier to push through the tough days. It's not about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about having a deep understanding of why you do what you do. Your why doesn't need to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to resonate with you. This sense of purpose acts as a reminder on days when the journey feels tedious or when you question whether the effort is worth it. Along with a strong sense of purpose, another critical factor is recognizing that progress often comes in waves. There will be moments where everything clicks into place, and the momentum builds effortlessly. But there will also be times when it feels like you're stuck, when each step forward requires more effort than the last. The key is to keep moving, even when you don't see immediate results. Trust that the work you put in today is laying the foundation for tomorrow's breakthroughs. This requires patience and faith in the process, as well as a commitment to keep showing up, even when the rewards aren't immediate. To maintain momentum, it's important to break your larger goals into smaller, more manageable milestones. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the scale of your dreams, but if you can focus on small, consistent wins, you begin to build a rhythm. Each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture and provides a sense of accomplishment that fuels further action. The joy of achieving these smaller victories can reignite the spark when your energy starts to fade, reminding you that progress is still being made. A significant part of sustaining momentum is also knowing when to rest and recharge. Too often, people push themselves relentlessly, believing that rest will slow them down or derail their progress. In reality, it's the opposite. Regular periods of rest and recovery are necessary to keep your energy reserves full and your mind sharp. Without this balance, you risk burning out, which can bring your momentum to a halt entirely. The most successful people know how to pace themselves, recognizing that consistent effort combined with moments of rest creates a steady, sustainable forward motion. As you build momentum, it's important to also cultivate an environment that supports your growth. Surround yourself with people who understand your goals and support your journey. These are the individuals who help lift you up when you feel like giving up, who hold you accountable when the going gets tough. Their presence can be a powerful reminder that you're not in this alone, and that your efforts are part of something larger than yourself. In addition to external support, create an internal environment that fosters success. This means eliminating distractions, setting boundaries, and creating a space where you can focus on what truly matters. One of the more overlooked aspects of maintaining momentum is the ability to embrace change. The process of growth isn't linear. It's filled with unexpected twists and turns. Sometimes you will need to pivot, adjust your plans, or learn new skills. The willingness to adapt to new circumstances or shift your approach without losing sight of your ultimate goal is vital in sustaining momentum. Sticking rigidly to one path can cause frustration when things don't unfold as expected, but the ability to adjust and continue moving forward, even if it means taking a different route, keeps the momentum alive. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of celebrating progress. Too often, we get caught up in the pursuit of the next goal without taking time to acknowledge how far we've come. Celebrating even the small wins can be a tremendous motivator. It reinforces the idea that effort leads to progress, no matter how gradual it might feel. It's a way to honor your journey, to remind yourself that every step forward counts, and to refuel your spirit for the road ahead. Sustaining momentum is a dynamic, ongoing process that requires commitment, discipline, and adaptability. It's about creating a flow of energy that doesn't rely solely on motivation, but on habits, purpose, support, and resilience. When you learn to work with the rhythms of life, embrace the ups and downs, and remain consistent in your pursuit of excellence, momentum becomes something that sustains itself. It becomes less about the initial burst of enthusiasm and more about the quiet, steady drive that keeps you moving forward, even when the road seems long and uncertain. Chapter 10. Embracing a legacy of impact. Every moment you live shapes the person you are becoming, and in turn, the ripple of your actions touches the lives of others, often in ways you may not even realize. The question is not whether you are leaving a mark, because you are, but rather, what kind of mark are you leaving? It is easy to get swept up in the day-to-day, chasing after tasks, goals, and desires, but there comes a moment when you realize that your true measure is not in what you've accumulated for yourself, but in the way your presence, your actions, and your energy have influenced those around you. Living with intention is the first step in creating a legacy that goes beyond personal success. It requires a shift in perspective, where you begin to see your life not just as a series of events and achievements, but as a story that interacts with and impacts the stories of others. You begin to realize that every conversation, every action, every choice you make carries weight, whether you're aware of it at the time or not. This awareness changes the way you approach everything. You move through your days with a deeper understanding that you are crafting something far greater than a list of accomplishments. You're building a life that will leave a footprint in the hearts and minds of others. Living intentionally means recognizing that your time, energy, and resources are limited. With this awareness comes the responsibility to use them wisely, not just for your own benefit, but to uplift and inspire those around you. This doesn't mean abandoning your personal goals or dreams. Instead, it invites you to weave them into a larger vision. Your success is not just about achieving personal milestones, but about how those achievements can serve others, elevate others, and help create an environment where others feel empowered to reach their own potential. A legacy of impact is not just about grand gestures or monumental changes. It is about the small, everyday acts that make up the fabric of your interactions. It is the kindness you extend when no one is watching, the encouragement you offer when someone feels defeated, the patience you show when others are struggling. These moments are the ones that build the foundation of an enduring legacy. You might not realize it in the moment, but these small actions compound over time, creating a lasting impression on the lives of those you touch. The impact is often understated, subtle, but powerful enough to ripple through generations. Creating a legacy isn't solely about how you are perceived or what others think of you. It's about how your actions align with the values and principles you hold dear. When you live in congruence with your core beliefs, your life becomes a natural extension of those values. Others will see the authenticity in your words and actions, and it will inspire them to live with greater integrity and purpose as well. This kind of impact is contagious. It spreads beyond you, reaching into the lives of those who come into contact with your energy. Your authenticity becomes a guiding light for others to live more fully in alignment with their own truth. A legacy is also shaped by the way you handle adversity. Your ability to overcome challenges, to face setbacks with grace, and to rise after failure speaks volumes. In these moments, your true character is revealed. It's not just your successes that define you, but how you navigate through the hardships. When you stand resilient in the face of difficulty, you teach those around you the importance of perseverance, of not giving up when the road gets tough. Your capacity to handle adversity will not only inspire others to do the same, but will create a ripple effect that encourages a culture of resilience and determination. Another essential aspect of leaving a lasting impact is fostering a sense of connection. True legacy is not built in isolation. It is woven through the relationships you cultivate. The more you invest in the people around you, the deeper the connection you create. Whether it's mentoring, offering a listening ear, or simply being present, these moments of connection leave an indelible mark on the hearts of others. Your legacy is not just the product of your own work, but the ripple effect it creates in the lives of those you engage with. When you pour into others, you help them realize their own potential, and they, in turn, are likely to do the same for others. Living with the intention of creating an impact means focusing on the broader picture, one that transcends immediate gratification and short-term gain. It's about planting seeds that may not fully bloom in your lifetime, but will grow into something significant over time. It's knowing that the work you do today, the kindness you show, and the values you instill in others have the power to shape the future, even in ways you might never fully see. You are contributing to something larger than yourself, a movement of growth, inspiration, and change that spans across time and generations. Ultimately, embracing a legacy of impact calls you to show up fully in every aspect of your life. It challenges you to be more than just a participant in your own story, but to be an active force in shaping the stories of those around you. This impact is not measured by accolades or recognition, but by the heartprints you leave in the world. It's about living each day with purpose, knowing that every action, no matter how small, has the potential to create a lasting, meaningful difference in the lives of others. And when you live with this intention, your legacy will not only endure, but will continue to inspire long after you are gone. Conclusion. The path to personal excellence is not a destination, but a journey where each step is as important as the last, and where the process of becoming is far more powerful than any final achievement. As you reflect on the steps you've taken, the lessons you've learned, and the growth you've experienced, know that this is just the beginning. What you've built is not temporary. It is the foundation for a life that continues to expand, evolve, and inspire. In the moments of triumph, it's easy to feel like you've reached the pinnacle. But in the moments of challenge, you discover just how much more you're capable of, how much further you can go, and how much strength you have within you to overcome. Each setback is merely a pause, an opportunity to recalibrate, to renew your focus, and to move forward with even more clarity and conviction. Your journey will always be unfolding, and with every new chapter, you'll uncover new depths of strength, resilience, and purpose. The most remarkable thing about personal excellence is that it's a lifelong pursuit. It doesn't end with a specific goal or a single success. It's woven into the very fabric of your being, in the way you show up for the world, in the relationships you nurture, in the impact you make, and in the way you continue to evolve as a person. It's in the commitment to always stretch a little further, to reach beyond what's comfortable, to push through the difficult moments with grace, and to embrace the beauty of becoming. You are not defined by a single moment, but by every moment you choose to show up for your highest self. The power lies within you to keep forging ahead, to continue growing, and to leave an impact that resonates long after you've moved on to the next chapter. This is your journey, your legacy, and your life to shape. And the best part, it's only just beginning.